growth is very important to me. If I can't grow as a person, then I can't lead and pass down to the next. You can't just keep doing the same thing. So it's really a time that I'm trying to find soul search within myself of how do I grow and take myself to the next level, and then eventually take the business to the next level.
Welcome back to The Real Grind, guys, the show where we talk real estate. And of course, we drink on the best sip of
amazing coffee.
There you go, man. I'm super excited you tune in with us today. We're gonna talk about the importance of having a great company with you that takes care of your titles and other stuff that he's gonna talk about here. But before that, let's get the show started.
Waking up to success, now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on gourmet coffee, the real grind. This is the real grind. Let's go.
He's been leading Madison commercial real estate services in Dallas office in 2013, growing to the top title agencies in Texas. We want to welcome on the stage Mr. Sam Herskovits. Let's go! My man, how are you? Thank you so much. How you doing, my sir? Good, man.
Good. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. It's great to be here.
Absolutely, dude. It's, I was being weird. Actually, it's not the first time I invite you, but thank you for coming, man. I know you have so much experience. All the conversations that we have in the events, the Madison events, it's just amazing conversation. You always have so much to add. So I thought it'd be a great fit to talk a little bit about your Madison title experience, about title, other things. But first, we want to start the show by asking, where are you from, where you came from, or a little bit back.
Appreciate it.
A little bit about you.
Thank you. So I'm a born and bred Brooklyn boy.
All right.
Moved to Dallas in the summer of 2000. So this summer, now actually August, is 24 years since we moved here with a 6-month-old, my wife and a 6-month-old. And I moved here to work in a nonprofit. And as our family continued to grow, my wife turned to me one day and said, it's time to make a profit. Nonprofit's great, but we have family needs and obligations. So like anyone else, real estate seemed to be the best fit to get into it. So I started off as a broker, worked at Marcus & Millichap for 9 years.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Sold a lot of shopping centers, apartment complexes. As a matter of fact, one of the last apartment complexes I sold was a portfolio in Arlington. This was as the market was starting to come out of the last downturn.
So what year was that?
That was it closed in 2012. It started in 2011. So it was a nice portfolio of 2,000 units in Arlington.
Wow, multifamily?
Multifamily.
You were the selling broker? You were obviously...
I was selling, and I actually found the buyers on it because the seller was about to lose it to a foreclosure.
Yeah.
So we ended up cutting a deal with them. Was able to do that deal, along with a different property in Garland that I actually invested in and has done really well. Continued with one of the clients.
And at the time, what kind of, was it B or C class apartments?
There were C-class apartments, value add, struggling with vacancy, deferred maintenance. Typical, C-class property that had to get completely renovated, and it was coming out of a downturn back then, so there were opportunities.
Right.
And fortunately, I was able to get into that. And at the time, Madison was really trying to build a Texas office. They had some clients in the Northeast that were transacting here, and we're really looking to build a brick and mortar to something that's a very dominating title company.
Yeah, of course.
So with the Dallas real estate contacts and experience and knowledge that I had, it was an opportunity to build something, and that's what was exciting to me.
That's really cool. And Sam, how was growing in New York, man? Every time I go to New York, the life there is so fast. It's a fast pace compared to Dallas, isn't it?
So it's funny, when I go back to New York, everyone calls me a Southerner. Or they say you sound like you're a Texan.
Because you already be too much in here.
Yeah, but when I'm up here and down here in Dallas, people say I sound like I'm from New York. So I'm kind of no here, no there. I feel a little lost sometimes, but I kind of have the best of both worlds.
So, but when you go back to New York, do you feel it's home or now it feels strange?
Not anymore, really. Not anymore? It's a little different.
Because some people move out of New York, man. They miss a few stuff like the city life and the pizza, whatever. Some aspects of the city.
Well, I definitely miss the pizza and the bagels. It's pretty good. Good corned beef sandwich. But for the most part, I brought my family up here.
Yeah.
My children all grew up here, and Dallas is our home. Feel very connected to the Dallas community, Dallas real estate community. neighborhood communities, other things that I've gotten involved in. And although my family's all up there now, my kids are getting married and moving up there as well.
They're moving up
They're
there.
moving up there.
You're giving them some advice.
You know, what can I tell you? I brought them up on New York sports teams. That was always the thing I couldn't get rid of. But nonetheless, you know, Dallas, my business is here.
Yeah.
My wife's very active over here, and that's where we feel home, very at home. So
Right, 100%.
it's just, you know, I go back. I like it for a couple of days, but then I remember why I moved to Dallas. And
Yeah, I
we're very
think I
happy
told
here.
you this. By my Dahlia's, my wife's mom, lives in New York.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law as well. So we go there sometimes. And last year we were there in the summer, and we mistakenly booked a hotel right by Times Square. Man, what a crazy busy life, dude. It's like, go here, go up there, take the subway. Oh, exit here. Be careful with this guy. Oh my God. It's like, and we were there for like almost 2 weeks. And then when we came back, as soon as we landed in Dallas, right? So we get our car in the airport, and I was like, hey, let's stop by Whole Foods real quick so we get some groceries. And then we walked in, and like jazz music playing, so calm and nice. And I was like, oh my God, dude. I mean, it's definitely very different. And Dallas is very welcoming for, you know, as of today, there's a lot of people moving out here.
Right. Right.
You know?
And it's also nice. I've watched how Dallas, when I got started, Dallas was considered like a secondary market.
Yeah. That was what, 1999?
No, I started I moved in 2000, but I started real estate brokerage in 2004.
Yeah.
And I've really watched the market evolve into Dallas becoming an amazing city.
Right.
Texas in general, the growth, the job.
It grew so much.
Yeah, it's really just growing. And, you know, there were times I watched I sold an apartment complex for $17,000 a unit.
Oh my God.
And, you know,
those are the
then
golden years,
and
right?
it sold 3 times since then. So for, you know, $100,000 a door. So I've really watched the market evolve and grow and become really a dominating force, you know, throughout the country right now, where everybody wants to be in Texas.
Right.
Great place to invest in, great place to do business. And I was very fortunate to be able to start Madison really at the time that it started, as the market was starting to, you know, turn and, you know, come out of the last downturn and be able to build a business with some good principles that allowed us to grow to what we grew it into.
Yeah, that's cool. So what was your, you know, when you're a kid, what was your desire? More a finance guy? What was the young self of you? What was your vision in life for a professional?
I always wanted to lead something. That was very important to me. Leadership was important. I just never knew what it was I was going to lead. Of course, as a kid, you always dream of having, you know, the big corner office with the window.
Yeah.
And then you start to go to college and you take some classes and you realize, well, it takes a long time to get there. But I wasn't sure. You know, brokerage was a great place to start because you really learn a lot about the industry. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing you learn out of being a broker is you learn the importance of getting a transaction closed.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to navigate obstacles. You got to learn how to be creative. And you got to learn how to build trust with people. And once you learn that skill set, you can apply it to so many different things and be able to build a business. And that's why it was just I had great mentors, great people showing me the way over there at Marcus & Millichap. It was a great experience. And that allowed me to take those lessons and put it into Madison of how can I define a title company when there's 100 people doing the same thing, but you take some of the lessons and you apply it, and slowly you watch, you're able to really grow something and build something under the principles and the lessons you learned from the previous, you know, job, the previous experience.
Right. That's amazing, man. And we are going to, I want to get everything, like how did you get the Madison office here in Dallas,
Sure.
how that is being such a successful business for you. And now you do have a big office and a big operations and a big leader. We'd love to hear about that. But before that, we're going to have something that I heard. Okay, hold on. I heard you don't like coffee, dude.
I'm a pretty simple person. So
Are you going to be open-minded today?
I'll be open-minded today.
You're going to try some good stuff?
You tell me to try it, I'll try it.
I am telling you, man, we had a lot of people here in the show that they tried it, and I was like, man, I actually like this because it's just, you like wine?
I do like wine. Yeah.
Okay, so wine, you know, when we're at college, we drink that not too expensive wine, right? And we think, oh, man, this is cool. And then you start upgrading wine, you start getting, and then you can't go back.
Right.
Coffee is the same thing. So we're going to try coffee. It's coffee time. Let's go.
Let's go.
And by the way, guys, this show today is sponsored by F Monday Coffee. And it's such, is their own, a lot of people be asking us, yeah, they're going to do your own brand of coffee. And we actually are doing it right now. So sponsor of the show. Love the shirt.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I'm excited because I love when we have guests that don't drink coffee. Sam, thank you so much for being on the show today. And so for y'all at home that are watching this, go check out the website, fmonday.com. We're basically a brand of specialty coffee. We bring coffee from small local farms, the ones that have a little bit of attitude, they're small but mighty. Okay. And that's what this coffee is all about. So if you're drinking at the show, make sure you drink it at home. We're always gonna have small batches because this coffee, they don't really come in bulk because it's such a specialty coffee that they make in small batches, and we're gonna have limited amount on the website. So make sure you go on the website, subscribe so you get all the notifications about when the new coffee is coming out. But with no further ado, good seeing you.
What's up?
Yeah. So, Sam.
Yep.
Are you a tea guy?
I mean, I drink hot
That is
drinks
a
out
nice
of necessities.
That was a nice no, but
Love it. But let's see if this
Okay.
will be something that you would be like, okay, this is fine, But I want you to tell me if it's not, no pun intended, not your cup of tea.
Okay. You got it.
But the way we're gonna drink this,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when you're trying wine.
Okay.
Give it a good smell, and then you slurp on it, let it sit a little bit in your mouth, and then you drink it. All right, you guys ready?
Ready?
Let's go.
I definitely taste the crossover between tea and coffee.
so
Interesting. I've never had
sip
that
it
before.
again and just let it slide on your tongue like
Okay.
very acidic, and it's actually, man, this coffee is really good.
Yeah. So this one, the way that F Monday works is we always gonna be sponsoring some really good coffee. This time around,
Oh, that's why.
it's Neil Daga, means like the eagle's nest,
Okay.
and it belongs to his cousin. He's like a great coffee producer in Brazil, and he has gotten so many awards, and his coffee is never shy from amazing.
He was nominated the best coffee of Brazil 2 years in a row.
Really?
So you're drinking the best of the
Okay.
best of the best. I
Actually-
didn't know you were going to put that in the shot. So shout out to Clayton, man. This is amazing coffee. So tell me from a scale from 0 to 10.
Be
Don't
honest.
be nice. Be honest.
Be honest, yeah.
It's okay.
It's actually really good. Typically, I put sweetener in my coffee, creamer, and so I'm not really drinking the coffee as in the taste of the coffee per se.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to imagine this as the coffee by itself.
There you go.
And it's I don't like black coffee, so this is actually pretty good.
And the interesting thing about this coffee is the colder it gets,
Yeah.
the sweeter it's gonna get.
Colder, really?
Yeah.
Because it's such a good quality coffee, because coffee is a fruit, right?
Interesting.
So because it's a fruit, whenever you drink coffee like Folgers and all that
Yeah.
stuff, it's just a high roasted coffee. So basically drinking charcoal, that's why you put milk, that's why you put sugar.
We can't say the name. Folgers are great.
But F
Folgers. Cut it out, guys.
right?
Cut it out.
But yeah, so that's what's crazy about good coffee.
Right.
The colder it gets, so for you that don't like hot beverages, like about 3 weeks ago, I brought this new method in here to brew coffee, and it's iced. In the end, I was like, I don't want that. We were drinking on wine glasses, just sipping on in the middle of the
Really?
summer, because this coffee can withstand cold temperatures. Regular supermarket coffees, the moment it gets cold, you
Right,
toss it because
right.
it's like, I'm not drinking this.
Well, my son-in-law loves real coffee, so he always drinks it in my house, brewed. So
There you
I
go.
appreciate.
Does
me,
he have
sharing
a
this.
grinder?
No, but he buys like the bags.
Pre-ground,
And
yeah.
he
Okay,
kind
so
of-
we-
I don't really
we-
follow
we-
what he
we-
does, but yeah.
We'll send him a little bit to
Yeah.
try.
Okay.
Absolutely.
you should do
So
that.
tell him to check this out, because we're
Okay.
always going to have good coffee in there, and he's more than welcome to come here and have
Okay.
a cup of coffee with me.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
So this is also to empower entrepreneurs, right?
Wow.
Monday is the worst day for people that work, and this is, no more Mondays. Monday is actually a day that's fun. There's going to be a day that you're going to get stuff done, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
You're going to do
Absolutely.
something out of a comfort zone.
And before you go, or before I go, a little something here for you.
Oh, thank you.
So
Appreciate
I
it.
got a nice compliment on the shirt. So actually getting one in there as well. There's a
Thank
nice
you.
Real Grind mug in there for you to drink
Okay.
your beverage of choice.
Thank you.
And but yeah,
Coffee with a lot of sugar.
but yeah. So I want to keep hearing your story. I used to live upstate New York, so there's a lot of stuff that you're
Okay.
saying that I kind of remember a little bit on my time in there. But we always talk on the events whenever we see each other.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to hear more of your story that a lot of times
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hear.
Absolutely. Looking forward.
Thank you so much for trying the coffee with me, man. I
Thanks for
always
having me.
appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the corporate world, a place you go to every day against your will, with endless meetings. And worst of all, shitty coffee. Introducing F*** Monday, a specialty coffee for those who want to kickstart the week with a better taste. A reminder to do your own thing or go after what's brewing in your head. Unless you're thinking of reading tarot cards for dogs or other dumb ideas like that. For everyone else, F*** Monday, your daily dose of attitude.
Great, man. I'm actually, I love this part of the show because good, folks will start drinking coffee different. I'm sure the next event, he's going to come in and share with us, man, I'm drinking coffee now.
I'll have a coffee lovers t-shirt on.
Coffee
Right?
lover. I love coffee. Sam, talk now, how'd you get started? We cover the brokerage, and we know from the brokerage side, from a buyer side, for, how important is the title portion, right?
Yeah.
So when you started Madison, was just the title at the time. I
Yeah.
know you do other stuff. So
Yeah.
talk to me about that.
Of how we got started at Title?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I looked, as a broker, when I was moving over into Title, I was looking, how are we going to define our shop and what's going to make us a little different? And what are the different types of professionals that are involved in any real estate transaction? You have a broker, you have an attorney, you have lender's counsel, buyer, seller. And what I've realized is everybody works so hard just to get a deal underwritten, under contract, negotiate a contract, third parties. There's so many things that happen. And then finally it's coming to the title company. We've got to get it done. Nobody wants to hear, that's a problem, that's an issue. So what I've learned is, what lessons can I take from being a broker and apply that into running a title company? Right. So the broker mindset is, we just got to get it done. Let's get it done. Brokers just care about closing because you don't get paid till it closes. Right. Attorneys are more, conservative. They want to make sure everyone's protected, whether you're from a lender side, whether it's from an owner or seller side, with reps and warranties, what have you. And a title company is somewhere in the middle. And I found that it's very, very easy to say no and hold deals back from closing. Mm-hmm. But you have to be able to have the yes mentality, but at the same time know that you're not doing anything careless, not doing anything that's going to cause issues down the road. Being able to bridge gaps between buyer's counsel, seller's counsel, what's considered in a title objection, what can hold up a closing, what cannot hold up a closing, and really have the attitude, the entrepreneurial side of we've got to get it done. You got to have that fire. I think it's really proactive. Yeah, it's proactive. It's having that brokerage fire of, we've got to make sure the deal closes. And if you don't have that mentality and you can't push it down to the staff, they don't feel the sense of urgency that's needed to appreciate how much work goes into a transaction 100%. To where it finally comes to us. We're going to make sure we're ahead of the curve. People hear from us, more proactively asking about things, and just making sure that a transaction can close and everyone gets what they need. At the same time, though, we've got to make sure we're protecting our business and our interests, that we're not doing anything careless and foolish.
Of course. And explain, for if somebody's watching the show today for the first time and they just get into multifamily, how explain what the importance of title into a transaction.
Sure. Well, on the most simplest level, the most important thing to know is the person selling, the sellers are actually have the authority to sell.
Choose.
The entity's valid. The people signing the documents have the authority to sell the documents. If someone's paying cash, obviously it's not as important because there isn't going to be a loan policy.
Yeah.
But that's something that can happen where I'll give you a great story. When I was a broker, actually, we had a couple that was selling a piece of real estate, and it turns out that the one of the spouses didn't have the authority to sign on any of the documents. They weren't part of the LLC. And it came time to closing. They signed, the spouse who wasn't on the entity signed everything. We're getting ready to close, and the other spouse decided that they were going to withhold the sale and say you didn't have any authority to sell. And sure enough, long story short, we end up in this whole entire legal, lawsuit between all the different parties because no one was checking the authority of the person signing that they actually had the ability to sign. So that's something that is really important when you're a title company. We're ensuring that, the sellers and all the different, people affiliated in the seller's entity have the authority to actually sign or sell and convey the property to the buyers. Because again, think about how much time the buyer puts into identifying, all the amount of work the broker puts in just to doing the tours, and then you find out that the wrong person is signing the things and the actual real seller doesn't want to sell and doesn't want to sign. So, that's something that's really, really important on a simple level of conveying a property.
And I have the privilege of work I was on the buyer, but the sellers that are using your company, man, and how amazing the experience was,
Thank
you
you.
and your team. I haven't had directly experience with you, but your team and representing you. And one day something you talked a little bit about earlier when you moved to Texas, and I asked you even before that, what was your vision? What was you going to be like? You said you want to be a leader. So I know the answer, but do you feel like you're a leader for your organization today?
Yeah, I do. I think it's probably the most gratifying part of my job is really watching how people have grown in the industry and feeling like I've brought more people into the industry, watching the relationships we have with our clients. I think one of the most important things is you got to really love the people and cherish the people you work with. And that's employees, that's clients. Life's too short. And there's, people that are going to make things difficult. There are clients that are going to make things harder. But at the end of the day, it's all about trust. You want to trust the people you work with. You want to trust the people you do business with. And those are the people I invest with. People ask me all the time about, hey, is this a good deal? And my first answer straight off is, who's the sponsor? You're investing with the sponsor more than the property, because any great operator can take a mediocre property and turn a profit, and any bad operator can take an amazing opportunity and throw it down. So it's really investing with the right people. And I find that, especially in a market that's turned, in a market that's more challenging, it's gonna be, there's a lot of issues that are coming up, but at the end of the day, the people that are transparent and honest and people you enjoy working with, those are the people you're going to ride through it with, and those are the ones that you're going to be able to continue to do business with. And, that's what I've learned in the last downturn is that, there's always a shakeup, there's always a turn, people come, people go. But at the end of the day, it's the ones that you feel the people that are, I think the honest people and the transparent people are the ones that really pull through and become stronger.
Yeah, 100%. Dealing with people in general, it's not the easiest thing, right?
Right.
We all human beings, and but at the end of the day, like when you see the majority of your organization moving to the right direction, following a leadership that is put out with a strong personality and passion about it, man, it's beautiful to see. And you started with titles, but you guys now have other services. What are they?
So we actually, one of the ways of building a commercial real estate services firm is you want to be able to offer more services and opportunities to work with clients. So our corporate office is based in Jersey, and they started a cost segregation company. Most people who are buying properties and holding them for a couple of years, and you're doing renovation studies, there's all kinds of ways, tax benefits of cost segregation, of accelerating your depreciation. So we've built a tremendous team with in-house CPAs, engineers, all that kind of stuff, and it's a really big company. And as our title business was really growing, I felt it was a great opportunity to bring someone into our Dallas office and be able to just service our clients with something besides title. That's what cost segregation. So we, about 6 years ago, brought someone in and built up a really nice, really big business on cost segregation that, for the most part, was mainly multifamily, but now we're very active in it. We've hired, subsequent to that, some other people, and we've got great presence in mobile home parks, shopping centers, and really expanded it into the other products, other real estate areas to be able to service a lot of our clients.
Yeah, explain cost segregation for dummies in less than 2 minutes. Go.
Very simply, real estate, you can depreciate it every single year, especially a commercial property over 39 years. The exteriors, you can do 15, then there's 5 year. Most people don't hold real estate assets for 39 years. So the IRS allows you to take the 39 years of 39 years of depreciation and accelerate it into 5 years. There's different, depending on what you are, there's bonus, depends how much bonus. But the reality is it essentially allows you to depreciate your asset, which hence increases your cash flow.
Yeah, 100%. And I would say to our podcast and to our investors, like, put yourself on it with a good team, right?
Yeah.
And, we talked about operators a little bit, and the operator is going to find the best team to source that. There's a lot of my investors that didn't even know they could take advantage from bonus depreciation themselves and have spouses that were W-2 and, but again, it's not any advice, but, also when you position yourself to the right people, to the right team, man, it definitely makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Many aspects. Let me ask you a question. I'm from Brazil originally, and is it true that Jewish do business with Jewish people? And only?
No, it's not true. I would say I understand why people think that. There's definitely a lot of, like in any community, people navigate towards the people you know the most and trust.
Of course.
What I appreciate more than anything about running a business in Dallas is that probably 75% of my business is just completely diverse. And I love that when you come to one of our networking events that we host, and you see all different types of people coming. And I just feel like real estate is something that brings a lot of people together.
100%.
And I think, again, it goes back to the transparency, honesty, hard work, appreciating opportunities to do business with people. And when you see that when you operate a business under those principles, it all comes together and you just see all different types. And that's what I love more than anything.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Doesn't matter anything you are, but your word.
Your word, yeah.
Right? And not just word, but actions too.
Yeah.
Success leaves clues.
Definitely
right?
true, yeah.
Definitely. And I love your events, man. Why you put so much events?
I love the events too. because it really highlights who we are.
Yeah,
as a
I'm
company.
coming to your events. We're been to a few.
Yeah, they're honestly, they're great. I love them too. And like anything else, everyone has their ups and downs in business and different times where, you have to make changes and you rethink things. But when we do our events, they just energize me because you just see at the end of the day, when you see the rapport and the trust and the enjoyment and the fulfillment, the support, that's really what it is. That's what it's all about.
100%. I love it.
Makes coming to work fun,
Yeah. Please keep inviting me. And I
Absolutely. Hey, now that I'm liking coffee, absolutely.
Hey.
We'll put a coffee stand at the next event.
So that's great. And what is, so today, would you say that we are in a recession for real estate, especially on multifamily? Right now, it's, there's a lot of questions out there, a lot of people uncertainty. How does that have impact a little bit on the business a little?
Well, for sure. Everyone, the media makes a living off doom and gloom. That's the way it is. So you'll read a lot of things about, transactions are down 86%. And that's the truth. Any operator will tell you rents were increasing as far as 12% during the good years, maybe even more. Most operators will tell you rents are pretty much flat. You have concessions. I remember when I got started in the real estate industry, every time you underwrote a deal, you immediately just, instead of figuring physical, economical, you just took 16% vacancy factor and that was your number. And a couple of years ago, an all-in vacancy was 6%, right? So we're back down to probably 85, 86% in underwriting. We have concessions that were never around that they're there. You got more bad debt. It's lots of stuff like that. And, there's definitely challenging times and obviously with rates and whatnot, but it's a correction. That's what it is. 100%. Fundamentals, real estate's about fundamentals. And there is a correction because it has to happen and that's the way it is. But real estate's the long game. Relationships are the long game. And just as a small, everyone reads this, DFW is supposed to roll out about 50,000 units over 2024. There were only about 65 to 70,000 in the pipeline. So there's going to be a lot of room for growth
100%.
Over the next couple of years. Yeah. So does that mean is it challenging this year? Every single commercial real estate services company will tell you on multifamily, we're down. That's the way it is. And it'll probably be down next year as well. But there's a lot of opportunity, and now's the time to be working on those relationships. And people have more time, and people are struggling in different areas, and it's a way to encourage each other to stick with it and stay with it, and remember that it's a long game. And you got to this is the time to readjust and just come out stronger.
100%.
And that's why I see it. And we're fortunate in our business that we do retail, and we do nursing homes, and we do office. Office is obviously slower a little bit, but there's other avenues that are allowing us to do the business. Plus, we have our cost segregation and 1031, and which is a little down as well, but lease pro bill diligence, which we can get to as
Right,
well.
100%. And what is now shifting the question from the same question? What is that you see as far as growth for you, for your company? You said that you had a dream to be a leader in a company. Do you wish, or you hope more to? Are you going to that direction, more of a growth, or you just study? And what is the path there?
Yes.
Or the desire?
Well, obviously the growth is very important to me. I'm not a person that is complacency bothers me. We all become complacent, and certainly in hard markets, it's hard to stay focused and motivated every single day. It's hard to get up with the same passion, because for the last couple of years, no one in the service industry, nobody was sleeping. I mean, we were just burning and churning. We did 700 transactions in 2022. So
wow,
there's a lot.
That's
it was
amazing.
just nonstop.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we did about 80 closings in December. So, I mean, I don't do settlement statements. I was doing settlement statements. That's how crazy it was. And if I'm doing settlement statements, it's scary because it's not the kind of thing I'm really good at doing, but I just had to help out the team. So it's one of those things, you do what you got to do. But now is really a time to reinvent a little bit of like what's, besides what I want for the office, it's what's Sam's next piece of growth to grow as a person. Because if I can't grow as a person, then I can't lead and pass down to the next. You can't just keep doing the same thing. So it's really a time that I'm trying to find soul search within myself of how do I grow and take myself to the next level, and then eventually take the business to the next level. So what more value adds can I add to clients? What more can I learn about? What do clients need in this environment? What are clients going to need in the next environment? What more of a resource can I be? And that's what I'm trying to really soul search and figure out and take to the next.
That's beautiful, man. It's great insight to know. I think being a leader, it starts with us. Right?
Yeah.
If you want to change, it starts with us. We change, and then good leaders will have good paths, and people will follow, man.
Right.
I believe in that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And sometimes it's also just being easy on yourself to know that,
Yeah.
when the market's crazy, and it's easy to work 12 hours a day and you're just like, can't stop. And when the market's slow, it's hard to be busy a whole day. And sometimes it's okay to tell yourself, I'd rather work 5 or 6 hours, but solid, and go home at 3 o'clock and know that I had a great day. I accomplished a lot. Leave on a high, than just force yourself to sit to 7, 6, 7, just to say like, what do they call it? Punch the clock, just to say, hey, I did it. And then you don't feel fulfilled. So it's more
Right.
about finding fulfillment, because I find that when I leave, even if it's a half a day or 3/4 of a day, if I'm fulfilled, I want to come back the next day and do more.
100%. The reason I ask this question is because, some people have said, oh my God, we have to, right now we're not growing, we just stuck. We got to always get the antsy. But, when I hear from your perspective, and I'm pretty much aligned with you in that, it's that, growing whatever at the right pace, how
Yeah.
it feels good. Obviously, the growth is ours. I'm not a person that's happy, satisfied.
Right.
I always want to get out of my comfort zone and do something crazy.
Right.
But I also doing it in the right way, something that is fulfilled. Allowing yourself to enjoy the moment as well,
Right.
instead of just growing too fast or whatever. So that's great, man. I want to put you on the spot and ask
Sure.
you a couple questions, man. This is Spilling the Beans with
All right.
Sam. Let's go. Oh, hello there.
Hey, let's spill the beans.
All right. Go out or stay in? What would you rather do?
Go out or stay in?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Go out for dinner or stay in the house?
Oh. Go out or stay in? I like to say I'd rather go out, but I know I'd rather stay in a lot of times.
All right. Growth or security?
Growth.
What would you rather be, a passenger or a driver?
Driver.
Okay. When you travel, hotel or Airbnb?
Hotel.
Okay. Books or movies?
Movies. If I could have learned all my grade school classes through a movie, I would have done a lot better.
That's audiobooks, man. That's what I do. Regrets or doubts?
Regrets.
Time or money?
Time.
Freaking New York or Dallas?
Dallas.
Let's go! Brother, thank you so much for coming to the show, man. It was a pleasure. Big fan. Great work. I love to work with you. How can people get in touch with you and your firm?
Typically, I think we do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. You see us on LinkedIn. We do great events. But most importantly, it's by word of mouth. And I love working with you guys. You know, it's just from the first time you came to our first event, some of the people you knew, some of the people we knew, coming here, just seeing all the different businesses you have and just the time we spent together. It's really word of mouth is the best way. Because I find that when someone recommends you, there's nothing stronger.
We recommend. So we're going to put his link right in there so you can find him Madison title, So I also you to look at camera 3 right now. Give yourself an advice if you could back then, but that might be other Sams out there that advice for business, for that leadership that you still have. So please do so.
I would say the best thing is really believe in yourself. It took me a long time to really believe in myself when I got started, and I was probably my biggest enemy, afraid of feeling too confident. And one of the best pieces of advice I got was from my first manager, Tim Speck. If you're watching, shout out to Tim Speck, great manager, great mentor. And Tim always used to tell me, get on the Sammy Hill, because once you're on that hill, no one's going to stop you from climbing. And it took a lot of time for me to find that hill to climb over and over again. But find it, believe in yourself, because we're our biggest enemy. But if you really believe who you are and what you could do, you get there a lot quicker and a lot faster.
Amazing, Sam. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
That was a pleasure. Let's do more business
Let's
together.
do more business.
Let's grow
Absolutely.
together.
Let's grow together. Let's get through the next couple of years, and we'll watch each other. And then, by the next podcast, and see, we'll have much bigger and better things to talk about.
Let's go, man.
Let's go.
This is the real grind.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching the Real Grind Show. This episode was sponsored by F Monday. If you're looking for good specialty coffee from small, local, mighty farmers, this is it. This is where you're gonna be finding amazing coffee, but everything that we're gonna be showcasing is gonna be in a limited quantity. So whenever you see something that you really like, go ahead and snatch some, because we're always gonna be bringing new coffee, featuring new folks in here, because that's what we believe in. We believe in quality, and we believe in empowering other entrepreneurs, So again, watch us on YouTube, Facebook, all the social media platforms. We're there as well. Your favorite podcast platforms, we're there. Share away, share with your friends, because that's what we're all about here, sharing, right? So again, F Monday, Real Grind. Let's go. I see you on the next episode.
Waking up to success, now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on, go and make coffee.